what? First, okay, look. Let's make sure you don't feel like I'm the ops. We in here. We live, making sure you know.
You are
right?
the ops.
You called me an op last week because you was talking reckless. You don't get to get on here and talk about your luxurious skin and all that stuff. And my smile, I'm glistening.
I need.
No, you don't need
that shirt. No, I do. No. CSPN definitely needs that free Mr. Clock shirt because I definitely got some J's that will match absolutely lovely.
You know, she stayed with the J's.
You made yourself the ops.
So I didn't make anything. I did not make anything. I am not an op. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I just keep it a buck.
Bro, it's over.
And her team winning this week. I ain't got time for this. You know
Listen, I'm loyal, okay?
You ain't loyal to me.
Why ain't I? You just get mad because I defend LeBron and he happens just to like the Lakers. So that's the only reason.
I get tight because Officer Winslow over there start talking and then you start co-signing immediately. So I'm not trying to hear that, man.
Only when the disrespect is to Brian. That's the
everybody got coming too. I
don't care nothing about Brian. Run your little graphics so I can get y'all this work and I can go eat my public sub sandwich.
Well, Mom cooked dinner tonight and I made cookies. So
I love the fact you think.
But you ain't make me no food. Everybody else that ate your food, but you ain't make me no food.
You was in the state too, man. You could have slid.
I'm the MTMV teddy bear, and I feel disrespected, so I'm not even. You know what I'm saying?
Crispy
teddy bear.
Hi, Crispy.
Yo,
in here?
Yeah, Crispy's. Oh, you know, Crispy's starting off early.
They loyal.
yo, Crispy,
we out here. We loyal, my boy.
Don't start, fam.
It's all love.
You know what I'm saying? I be showing you love, Crispy. You know what I'm saying? Don't you become an op. Everybody's an officer.
Oh, kissy face.
Everybody is an op tonight. Everybody out there ain't Woodruff.
Ain't no kissy face. My skin is too luxurious for all that. You know what I'm saying? You see the
God, will you stop?
No, you want to know something, right? So
I can't talk about my smiling.
This is like a bracelet, right? Speaking of skin being luxurious, right?
Yeah.
So this is a bracelet and it smells good. So you guys know me, how C is, right? So I was like, oh, when you put that on your wrist, you could just rub Shorty's face and be like, oh, you know, and it smells good.
I'm not messing with y'all, man. I'm not messing with y'all. Look, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all tapped in, y'all tuned in. The 494 here is in full effect, man. Look, the Aces are champions.
Yes, they are.
Sarver's still in the league. Becky Hammond does in her first year. I'm ready to talk. You ready to talk, Wilders? How you feeling this evening, man? Hey, look, wait. Before you go, I just want to make sure, shout out to the people. My man went to go see his therapist today. Shout out to mental health. And look, if you're not taking it seriously, it is a real thing. It needs to happen. I've been trying to schedule mine and find a doctor for the past 3 weeks.
I've been trying to find one that's perfect for me.
And I got a black therapist. She don't tell me what I want to hear, and when I try to flirt with her, she cuts me off. She's like, "You're just like my husband, so that's not gonna work here. You're cute, but sit down and let's talk.
Sit your butt down. Let's figure it out."
I like
that. I love it, and that's a shout to anybody. Go talk about your stuff, man. Don't keep that stuff in. Keeping that stuff in is not healthy for you. I'm telling you, keep it moving.
It be zoomy, but I feel like her office.
Rick with his comical luxurious forehead. Rick, yo, Crispy, you coming for everybody, man. Everybody. Shout out to the head honcho, Rick, man. But definitely, look, Woodruff, how you feeling this evening?
I mean, you know, my boo won. You know what I'm saying? Like we did what we came to do. You know what I'm saying? I saw Becky talking, and I was like, man, do I want to get a divorce before I even get married? Because Becky fine too. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
Please, I thought me and Plum made a special moment in the video. I promise you. If you look real close, you can see her eyes really looking at me. I promise
we definitely got to tap in.
I didn't see no shout out or nothing. I shouted you out on Twitter, made sure people, you know what I'm saying, show love, but I don't feel like you got Asian my message.
Listen.
Yo,
publicly do that. After we were walking. I was like, bro said, what's up?
Bro said, what up? Hey, check out the show, bro. I ain't mad at it at all.
We're shooting our shots to get her on here, both of us. Me
big
and
facts.
you.
We gotta shoot it. And officially to tap in with us, We got C, man, who was there live in effect reporting from the sidelines at the WNBA finals, man. That is something big, something to be celebrated. C, we bow down, boo. Thank you for leading the way. We all gonna get in there next, man. But how are you feeling?
She's talking WNBA. Proud of you, girl.
Thank you.
How you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling great. I had a good day, long day, always tired, but I'm feeling absolutely amazing. The experience was unforgettable, and I can't wait to do it again. I'm ready for next season to start already.
You already know it. You already know. I'm looking at the Atlanta Dream now. Make sure to cover them, but I'm really just waiting for the Aces to come to town. It is what it is. But we're going to get back to it, man. Look, you were here, tapped in, full 94 team here on MTMV Sports. Let's get it. All right, look, check this out. Before we tap in and go real, tell me how disrespectful was that walkover for AI on Tyronn Lue? Like, tell me the level of disrespect because it didn't happen from a crossover or nothing. He fell, but the iconic is just the right over him. You know what I mean? How disrespectful was that? Like, is it high or is it a little bit lower because he didn't cross him? He fell, but like, did he take the opportunity? Like, tell me, what is that? Where's that rank for you?
You give him a quick love tap, man. That's what we doing for them, man. We take the disrespect and we jump on your head, man. That's what we about. You know what I'm saying? And we do a surprise party, so we with it at all times. Shout out to
AI. It was disrespectful.
Look, that's what I'm saying. It had to be. It's disrespectful, right? Because but
in a calm way.
Yeah. I felt like he was like,
he made it, and he did it in front of the Lakers bench, and ain't nobody in the Lakers bench like still off on AI. Like made the Lakers like suckers.
They basically was just like, let's just win the series, and it means nothing. But he does have an iconic moment though. Like, so there's nothing you can do about it.
You can say that, but at the end of the day, we all know in Philly that had we had one more star, it was a wrap for y'all. Because every game, AI was doing y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was doing y'all. And Shaq was out here putting up 55 and 30. Look, Mutombo.
I don't disagree with you, man. I love the shoulda, woulda, couldas. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I'm the fan of, if Tracy McGrady would have stayed healthy. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. If Chris Paul could have went to the Lakers, like I'm with the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I live in that world just like you do. You know,
y'all shoulda, woulda, coulda went to the playoffs last year. All right, let's move on.
We couldn't have. We didn't.
No,
it didn't happen. No shoulda, woulda, couldas.
There was no shouldas, wouldas, or couldas. We definitely was not there.
I don't even know which.
Let's talk. Hey, man, you already know what it is.
With a 5-guard rotation, because
I don't know what's happening.
Y'all too hype about that, but all right.
You already know how I feel about them. Like what? I don't want to have a heart attack.
Where the slam ball highlights at? AI in Philly. Look, see, I get it. He's a fan. You know what I mean? So, see, talk to us, man. Like I'm so elated that you got to be in the building. We got videos to show that. Got videos of the beginning of the game. We got videos from the the press conference afterwards as well. But I'm so excited that you got to be there. You got to tell us about your experience, what it felt like being in the building for a WNBA Finals, and not just WNBA Finals, a closeout game where Asia Wilson, Jackie, Chelsea, Kelsey. I mean, playing this game it wasn't a blowout. It was an amazing game to the fourth quarter where the Aces kind of closed it out in the last few minutes. But
like that
atmosphere, like what was that like? What did it feel like? And you got to tell us about it.
Like it was amazing. I don't think I could describe how I felt internally in words. To be there, seeing Chelsea Gray go off, because after losing game 3 the way that they did, and you know how the switch on from Duana Barton, Chelsea Gray, and just hearing them post game talking about how no, we're not going back to Vegas, and how, as Coach Hammond said, they were ticked off, and she was hoping they were still ticked off coming into Game 4. For sure. But to see her go off, to see Jackie Young have a game the way she did, 20 points, even though, I mean, they lost that game, but to see Coach Becky Hammond coach in that last minute and 35 seconds when, I'm going to say her name, you know, Williams, because I don't want to mess up Raquana. Yeah. Her, all series long, they just stopped guarding her. Like, you can't not guard anyone on the Aces at any given time.
Everybody
so just to see a team literally will themselves together in the last minute and 35 seconds of a game was absolutely amazing. And then to see the smiles after, to be in the post game with Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, have Kelsey Plum, and them be themselves, talking the way they talk. Not even though it was a WNBA national televised league, and I'm pretty sure a post game is going to be everywhere.
But they was in there, dog.
It was a vibe.
Kelsey was lit, dog.
Big
Usher,
vibe.
I better see you, Usher.
It was just absolutely like, it was nerve wracking at the same time. Don't get like having Becky sitting up there before or after that game that she's lost, and she's like, it was very physical. It's just like, oh,
yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
Like, what you want
like,
to do?
What am I? So it was a great learning experience, you know. Yeah. Even with the Connecticut Sun, they still answered questions, and it just goes to show you that like you could do anything that you want in this world as long as you put the work in and you grind. The outcome is always amazing.
Message. Let's go now. I'm loving it. We out here. Look, I think what you did, what you're able to do, what you're doing right now is a foundation for the whole team to look at. You're in those rooms. You're in these. I mean, a WNBA finals is absolutely crazy to be there in the closeout.
Two games. I got 2 games.
You got 2 games there in Connecticut, and one the Aces got blown out. So it was like, hold on a second. You know what I mean? So being able to do that, be in the rooms, be in those press conferences, that's absolutely amazing. So see, in that moment, we salute you. We're going to plan to be all on the same level here coming this next year, man. But you're trailblazing, you're setting it up, man, and we absolutely love it that you're a part of here at MTMV Sports 494 Sports Talk with C. Everything that you put your hands to is turning to gold, man. So we appreciate you and love you for it.
Back.
We need to hashtag get C to ESPN because
big facts. We'll make it happen, man. But look, we're going to definitely check this out. We're going to check out some of the photos, some of the videos that she got while in the building itself from the beginning of the game to the press conferences afterwards. You'll see the vibe from Asia, Kelsey, Chelsea. Everybody's in there, man. We're going to check it out. Let's check it out. Gotta love it, man. Look, and we're gonna get to tap in with Asia and the vibe and figure it out. We'll start off serious, then Kelsey, and then we get the funny in Asia, and then we'll end with the Connecticut Sun and AT talking about how they played, how they felt, and what it looks like, what it feels like to be able to take a L right now in the WNBA finals because they went out and did what they were supposed to do on their home court. So any chance to win. And one thing I loved about this, I saw a clip where Becky had Coach Pop in the locker room, and he was like, look, there's nothing more sweeter than winning on the road and winning in somebody else's building. And that was the question. He was like, what did I always tell you? He's like, it's nothing like winning on the road. And they went out and did that, even after getting smacked in their mouth in game 3, come out game 4 and do what they did, man. So let's check that out.
You accomplishing this, how are you feeling? Just where you're at, everything you've been through to get here.
This is amazing. Like I say all the time, like I wouldn't be where I am today without my teammates. But winning a championship is something that no one can ever take from you. And once you got that down, you were in the books forever. That's my shit,
Getting lit. Let's keep it going.
She believed in you. Great things would happen. How did that kind of how did that believe?
I'm so sorry. We getting back in love. Just kidding. The shots would definitely be.
She talking about no. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And look, this is what Asia really got lit. Let's talk. Let's check it out.
Pop, ginger ale. Drink responsibly. Don't be crazy now. But Usher, I better see you, Usher. I'm not playing with you. Usher, I better see you, Usher.
Usher's not on Zoom yet.
Everybody come to the city.
Usher's not on Zoom yet, so we're gonna finish with
E40 there.
Don't you gotta let it? My man's like Usher's not on the Zoom anymore, so we have to. No, we know, bro. Calm down. And then we get a shot of AT talking about taking the L, being at home, doing what they were supposed to be doing. Let's see what she got to say.
The finals. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way that we wanted to, but I mean, we had fun. We played our basketball, and we stuck together all year. And like I said, it just didn't go the way we wanted to.
I don't know, man. Being able to sit there and have a conversation after taking an L, like I think that's one of the hardest things for pro athletes is the press conference. Like, let's say you go in there, you're supposed to be a superstar, and you get beat up, and then you got to go and talk about it to other people. Ask you all these questions. Like, I remember watching it was a one after the game one win, and every other question is asking Kelsey about, hey, when you were trash, like. How did you come up out of that? And she's like, we just won. Like there's a moment. Kelsey's like, look, we won. Like, why we keep coming back to when I wasn't making shots? Matter of fact, it was after game 2 because game 1 she wasn't hitting, and they were like, she was like, golly, like Chelsea would get a question, Asia would get a question, and then hey, this one's for Kelsey. How did you feel coming out of that slump? Like it's like, bro, like
and they just word it differently. It's like, okay, we've.
I know they just said it differently, like 4 different times.
I would say seeing Courtney Williams smile. If everyone make sure you read the article. She talks about how she's grateful to even be part of a WNBA basketball team because everyone counted her out of the league. So even though she didn't win, she's still grateful. She was all smiles. She said because without her team, without her sis calling her, she wouldn't even have the opportunity to play for a WNBA finals game, let alone like 4 WNBA finals games. So she was very grateful, and she took that moment and sucked it all up because she had a great game, the elimination game.
Yeah,
they got to make sure they resign her, man. She's a free agent coming up, I believe.
Yeah.
So is Bree Jones.
What does Connecticut do in the offseason? What do they need to compete? Because when I say it again,
running back.
Oh yeah, you got to bring it back. I also looked at I went back and watched all 4 games, right? Watched the way the Aces were basically capitalizing on what
on their big lineup. Big lineup.
Definitely for sure. So what I think the big lineup is great, but it's not great against a team who can break it, right? And when you have Aces, when you have a dog like Chelsea, when you have a shooter like Jackie and Kelsey, and Asia who's a 3-level scorer, like that's gonna negate what you're doing. So is it going out and picking up a solid point guard or a solid come off a screen shooter? Like what is it? Are we talking spot up shooters? Are we talking a playmaker? There's not too many Chelsea Grays in the league. You know what I mean?
From what I seen, it was missing easy layups, free throws.
Yeah.
They couldn't make a basket. Like, I mean, I feel as though he should have switched. That big lineup is what got them in the last minute and 35 seconds. I know Dejanay wasn't having the greatest game, but on the defensive end, she's always there. She's always turned up. She's always ready. So I just, like he always says, tinker in or pivot in, or they have to get their 3 all-stars to work in a way that they can close out a game, because it's so easy to exploit the big lineup, the 3 all-stars, that they have to figure out a way to use it, but use it at their advantage, not as their disadvantage. Because every time I felt like they went big, every team went small.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the when you negate it and try to pick it up. Go ahead, Will.
You got to remember too, like Jasmine Thomas was out with the ACL injury. You know what I'm saying? Right. So like the
actual point guard.
Yeah. So like if they run that back, but you have to resign Bree Jones as a 6th woman of the year. She's gonna command money out there. Somebody's gonna want to fill.
Natisha Heidemann had a great season, stepped up.
Well, get your money, bro.
Yeah, so it's like, what I'm saying? So it's like, if they can bring that back, yeah, I believe they're gonna be a little bit older, but man, that's a physical team. I honestly believe that any other team outside of the Aces, they win that series. Because that physicality was
crazy.
There was moments where I was just like, man, I ain't trying to go on 494 after saying that the Aces is gonna pull us out, and the Sun is out here fighting them because they was playing like the 04 Pistons out there, man. Like
that's how AC played. That's how Alyssa Thomas plays. Like everyone's like, I love the way she plays because she plays old school basketball. That's what they reside on, and I just think a lot of angry. When you're upset and you're losing and let some things slip away, but the little things that are the big things was what mattered.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen them pick up somebody like Taya Cooper when Jasmine Thomas went down. I feel like
they had a great guard though. Bria Hart, she was great, but then she tore her ACL.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, if you feel that void, because, you know what I'm saying? If you think about physical teams, like, yeah, you physical, but it's like y'all said, that guard play is crazy. And Aces had a monster. And every time you felt like somebody was in a slump, someone else stepped up.
Someone else, yes.
It's just not gonna stop. They kind of look like the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? You had Jordan Poole out there, you had step out, like, so you have so many people who can step up and hit a shot that it was crazy. But when Bree came in there and she was hitting those free throw joints consistently, it was just like that was a chance. But it seemed like every time Connecticut got to a point to where they could dominate the game, they were getting away from their original game plan, and I think that's kind of what took away from it.
Yeah, I think when you look at that squad, and you can have Chelsea bring up the ball, Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum on the wings, and I haven't even got to Asia yet, or De'Erica, or like it was just so like everybody could spot up. It was crazy.
It was just, and usually they don't have any points from their bench, but for Raquana to come and give them 17 in the last game, it was.
And that step back with under 60 seconds to go, I was like under a minute ago.
Becky said they don't call her Bay Buckets for nothing. The way she spoke,
did the plane around.
The way she spoke about her team and the way her team spoke about her from day one was absolutely amazing. And for her, like she said, I don't got nothing to prove. If you don't like me, oh well.
What going on, sis?
I came in here the biggest I was proving myself right. That's what the whole goal was in mind. And her team says the same thing about her. So it was to see the moment when the team walked out as she's talking. She's like, my bosses said that it's time for me to go. And it just, the respect level for each other was great to see.
You gotta love
it.
Hey, sis. Shout out to sis, man. Hey, look.
Are they building a dynasty?
If you ain't got a chance, man. You ain't got a chance. Check out the V report, bro. MTV Sports, we got a squad going on, and V, I believe, and she's still in the league with the most episodes held on MTV Sports. She is the running leader, killing it. The V report. Shout out to sis, man. Y'all definitely check that out. Check that out. Now we got a lot more to talk about. As much as we're celebrating and just rejoicing about the Aces winning their first WNBA championship, Becky Hammon winning her first year as a head coach. All-star player coming to coaching and they're absolutely killing it. You know what I mean? So, sis, of course, it's all love. You know, you wanted to go.
To help A for me since C don't want to help me because I know they lying. I know we can get something done. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? I'm trying to
C dragging her feet.
I'm trying to make this happen while I'm still in my prime. I got like another 8-9 years on my prime. You know what I'm saying? These boys good looks, these baby skin. You know what I'm saying? I'm 38 now, but
I ain't messing with you, man. I ain't even doing it. Look.
look 30.
Look, man, we're having fun, all smiles, absolutely loving it. But we got to address this Robert Sarver thing and the owner of the Phoenix Suns. Now, I just caught wind of it. I saw the punishment come down, and this is when I got interested in the story. I had missed the tapes and the articles and everything doing this. We're gonna read a little bit and then we'll tap right into it. So this is dating back to a loss from the Warriors when Sarver comes into the locker room. So after a loss, Suns majority owner Robert Sarver entered the coach's locker room. This is just one occurrence. He said, why does Draymond Green get to run up the court and say the N-word? Sarver, who is white, allegedly said, repeating the N-word several times in a row. You can't say that, Watson, who is black and Hispanic, told Sarver. He was like, why? Sarver replied. Draymond Green says the N-word. He's like, you can't effing say that, Watson said again. The answer, though, offers a glimpse into the conduct that sources tell. This is an ESPN article. Sarver had often exhibited since buying the Suns in 2004. Interviews with more than 70 former and current Suns employees throughout Sarver's 17-year tenure describe a toxic and sometimes hostile workplace under Sarver. Some told ESPN he used racially insensitive language repeatedly in the office. Employees recounted conduct they felt was inappropriate and misogynistic, including Sarver once passing around a picture of his wife in a bikini to employees and speaking about the times his wife performed that act on him. Some said the longtime owner fostered an environment in which employees felt they were his property, even once one woman whether he owned her to determine whether she worked for the Suns. So this level of misogyny and racism is beyond the pale. One Suns co-owner said about Sarver, it's embarrassing as an owner. Now, the crazy thing to me is that two things that I've noticed, right? Not specifically about Sarver, but also Chris Paul finding himself in this situation again on a team with the owner who honestly we understand and see this and know how people feel, know how owners really feel, right? But am I gonna talk down or mess up the money train, right? I'm a billionaire who's gonna continue to be a billionaire because I have a franchise who is on the rise, right? Like they went to the conference finals, they went to the finals. Like looking at that and seeing it for what it is, how does that make initially, like just off rip, right? Reading the story, your first initial reaction, what does that feel like to you when you heard about these allegations over a 17-year span?
That at the end of the day, these folks still get away with doing whatever they want to do and they're comfortable doing it. And I understand that Adam Silver only has so much power that he can wield in this situation, and he works for the owners. This is not enough, because essentially you're slapping a billionaire on the wrist and telling him, yo, you got to sit out for a year while you're still able to make money on the organization that you disrespected from beginning to end. And that's just not enough. Like it's not going to be enough for him to do that. I'm eager to see what's going to happen with the sponsors. I know PayPal said that they were going to pull out, but the difference is between Sterling and Sarver is that with Sterling, sponsors put out immediately. Like they were like, yo, if he's not out, they were pulling out immediately. The whole thing about waiting till like, the end of the season, if he's still there, that really does nothing because he's still getting the money. He has to be removed. When you think about the racist things he said, the misogynistic things that he said, I mean, he wanted to remove a woman from her high-ranking position because she had a baby and he felt like she should be home. Like, these are things that, like, should not go on. And while I understand people are like, man, I don't want to lose my job, especially if you're a man. As a man, you either going to be a man or you going to suck. Like, that can't happen. If somebody said that to my sister, you got to run me to fade, dog, and you know what I'm about. So, like, I don't think it's enough. Like, more has to happen. I do love the fact that the minority owner was like, is calling for him to be removed, and I want to see what happens with that.
Now, what I did notice and read up on is that he is not a billionaire like some of the owners in the NBA, right? Like, so I'm not saying that $10 million fine was nothing, because to him it is nothing. He has millions of dollars. Now, what we noticed with Donald Sterling, when he made those racist remarks and they were caught on tape by his girlfriend and played for everyone to hear, I remember that next game where the teams boycotted playing the rest of the playoffs. and that's what forced the sale of the NBA forcing Donald Sterling to sell that team. Now, does it reside? And see, I'll come to you with this. Does this reside with the players making a stand after Sarver gets 1 year suspension and a $10 million fine, or are we just hoping that the organization and the owners come together and do it? Because I don't see the latter happening.
In this case, I feel as though it shouldn't be left up to the players. It's about time these owners do something. It's about time these owners have more dignity and be a man, like bro said, and stand up for what's right. Like, you gotta go. Yeah. You gotta go. Like, what is these owners coming to? Why is it okay? Why do you think that you can say this is not 1950? How can you say that to a woman? Women have babies and grow and be millionaires just as much as a man. Why? Because she's a woman, you think it's 1950. She got to stay home and
absolutely crazy
do her job. She did her job while being pregnant for you. What's the problem now?
Yeah.
You only wanted her until you needed her. Now it's time to expand her out. No, that makes no sense. So I, in my opinion, I think it's time for the owners to stand up for their organization, stand up for the players, and be like, no, you have to go. It's your time is up. See you later.
Yeah. I hear you. Now, I wonder if a joint effort on them is what helps. I love that he just sings R&B tunes in the back while he's singing. However, I want to make sure that when you're looking at this, I call all of that. So when looking at these owners and players, I wonder if does it become a joint effort, right? Because when we look back to Donald Sterling, the Warriors and the Clippers said we're not finishing the series. Like, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to figure out, make it happen. We're not playing the rest of the playoff series. And it got forced. Now, I don't know what owners were like. I could go back and find it, but I don't know what owners are like. Yeah, like, that's what's up. We support that. You know what I mean? With Silver coming out and apologizing, with other minority owners of the Suns saying, "Hey, come on, man. It may have to end with you leaving," because the backlash isn't worth everything that you could potentially lose. And that's exactly what we see initially. Like, when things like this happen, brands pull out and go, "We don't want to be attached to it because we're gonna lose money." PayPal's like, "We look, if he starts the season with him as still as one of the minority owners, then we out of here. Like, we don't even want to have a conversation." So it's gonna take the players, it's gonna take the coaches, it's gonna take the owners, it's gonna take sponsorship dollars, advertising and marketing, and companies to be like, "No, we straight." Right. And then now the Suns are gonna be like
happening. Like, there's no standard to own a team. There's no like.
But that's the thing. You can most of these owners, they're not new owners, right? They've been owners for years in the family or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, so
I get it, but everybody.
What?
I get it, but there's no. At some point, these owners are part of the NBA. You get what I'm saying? So there should be some type of standard to be an NBA owner. I don't care if you have millions of dollars or it was part of your family. Well, the person who started as your family is no longer here or gave the torch. It's time to see if you can follow our standard at some when is the NBA going to be like, no, this is our standard and to be an owner of one of our teams. I get it. We need the money, but the NBA has a lot of money.
Yeah, I think after the fact, it's easy to say that. Like, if he has to sell his portion of the team, right? Next person that comes in, this is the standard. Are you about this? Are you about that? Right? But when you have people who are in place, the standard right now is don't get caught.
But do some research.
If we're honest,
what's interesting about that is that a part of that, he was accused of physical and sexual assault. How was that only a $10 million fine? That doesn't make sense to me.
Do the research, put the work in it, like you do for some other your employees. Do these for your owners.
Yeah, big facts.
You do all this. I'm telling you, if they did it a long time ago, there's someone being shut up with money. You're gonna find some type of trail, and if you find
think about Kyrie. Think about Kyrie and the backlash that he got last year for not being on the court. The COVID vaccine, the Earth is flat. People come at that man hard, right?
But at the end, those situations are those, and the Earth is flat. That's his opinion. He doesn't want to take the vaccine. That's his right. We're not asking him to own a basketball team. Okay, ultimately him not playing, what happened? His team lost, they got swept. That's the cause of him not playing. You know what I'm saying? He's not sitting there talking about the fans are all these, and you know what I'm saying? He's not throwing race into it. He's not saying to all the women, "Oh, the earth is flat, so all the women got to go somewhere." You know what I'm saying? He's not saying those things. But I feel as though they got to be held to a higher standard than the normal standard, especially if you're going to be owning a team.
Oh,
that has practically nothing but black people on it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting once LeBron retires and he owns a team, how a lot of this stuff is going to change over, because it's going to happen.
But didn't he not believe that he said those things? Wasn't he one of the ones that say he couldn't see him saying that? He couldn't see, wasn't he one of the ones?
It's easy not to see when somebody puts on the front in front of you, right? Like, you know what I mean? And I think this is part of the reason. Shout out to my boy Woodridge. This is part of the reason I be hitting live, like in the middle of our conversation, because I want the world to see these behind the scenes conversations. I want to see the rawness, the candid. You know what I mean? This is what it is. But this for LeBron,
did you justify being a Fed?
Oh yeah, I justified it. Already justified.
Let me tell you something. Anybody that knows Woodridge knows you're gonna get exactly what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's my mama, my pastor, you know what I'm saying, the president. I don't care who it is, fam. You finna get exactly what you get. I don't code switch. I'm not changing up my words for nobody. The only reason y'all don't get cuss words out of me is because Rick gonna find me, and I ain't trying to get. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with it at all times. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter.
Look,
that's all right, because you know what, guys, we're gonna be owners. That's why. So we're gonna fix the standard.
I receive it. Come on now, we in here. We're gonna make it happen. Look, I absolutely love the conversation, celebrating the Las Vegas Aces, as well as having this raw conversation about Robert Sarver and this whole owner thing. We don't know what's going to happen by the beginning of the season. I do believe there's going to be some type of change. I do believe there's going to be some type
to go.
More. Yeah, I think there's going to be something that comes along with it. I'm not sure how that's going to happen, but I do believe the owners and the players and the coaches are going to have to do something, somewhat of a joint effort to kind of make this thing happen. Because Adam Silver is at a point where he's not just going to up and change and be like, all right, cool, well, you got to be gone, right? It's going to take an uproar. It's going to take something.
He needs to. Adam Silver, come on.
Yeah. I will say this too, like his record.
You gotta remember, he works for them.
This is very true. Now, and his record to me isn't. I'm not going to say spotless, but I mean, Silver's been doing his thing up until a moment like this, where we're like, 1 year and 10 million.
He might not have the power to do something, but he has the power to say something to everyone.
Oh, for sure.
Like call a meeting, call something. Like we need to lay it out in the front. Like, is this what we want your team to be behind? Is this what we want the NBA to be about? Like,
because the brand is what's most important.
Yeah, Adam's not David Stern. Like, in rest in peace to him. Adams is a great. He's doing a great job, but in this instance here, he kind of missed the mark. But even when you say he missed the mark, it wasn't him. It was the independent investigators who come on, because I believe these are the same ones who took care of the Sterling situation.
Yeah.
So they just felt like they didn't find anything, and I think that's more or less of people not speaking up for some reason. I mean, folks out in Arizona, I don't know what they do out there. They don't celebrate Martin Luther King Day, so I don't know what's happening.
Wait, what? Oh, I don't want to move there.
Yeah,
no wonder she's like that. Oh, because she's from Arizona. Thank you. Thanks
so you got to take that and take a lot of that into accountability. I don't like the fact that it's being put on the players, but I am eager to see how, like Miles said, this is going to play out, because I don't think this is going to be the end of it. I think we're probably going to be dealing with this probably up until the start of the season, when they determine exactly what they're going to do.
The season's next month. They're not going to figure out.
We got 30 days. 30 days.
Not going to figure who already?
Yeah, 30 days to the season, man. So we're going to see.
I'm trying to go to be media at a game this year. So
you already know it. Going to the Celtics game, Lord Jesus.
Bronze there.
Bronze in the building. Shout out LB. Look, I think at the end of the day, something's got to happen. Something needs to happen, and I think something will happen before the beginning of the season. So I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see what it is, but I think there will be something, man. But look, we appreciate y'all tapping in with us this evening. Now, I think what we're gonna do is, because I don't think you guys are prepared, unless, correct me if I'm wrong, we will take this thing from Not the Same Podcast. I love what they do when they do this soapbox and they take a few minutes to just talk about whatever they want. So we will be incorporating that. It will come with something else. We'll call it something different, but obviously, no, it's not. It's from our boys and not the same. We're not biters. We're gonna try.
Violation.
I like the shot clock violation. I like that. We got to see what the seconds are gonna be and how many we're gonna put on the clock. But I will give you this. I'm gonna give you 30. I'm gonna give you 30, Will. I'm gonna give you 15 right now. I'm gonna stall. I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to figure out what you're gonna talk about for 30 seconds. Because I feel like it's something on your mind and you can break it down and say it, and nobody can respond to you. You're just gonna say it. We're gonna keep it moving. I might smile or laugh. I'm probably gonna smile or laugh because it's you. But after that, we can't talk about it. Can't go back and forth. It is what it is. Woodges, are you ready for your 30?
I'm ready.
All right, talk to us, man. What's on your mind?
The WNBA got to put more money into this league. They have my baby out here drinking Michelob Ultra. You know what I'm saying? Like, where was the champagne at, big dog? You know what I'm saying? Why you give Chelsea that Bed Bath and Beyond statue that you gave her? I know y'all got some more money. You know what I'm saying? Let them travel how you want to let them travel. You can put some more travel miles. You know what I'm saying on they buckets, fam, because this is not fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
10.
The collective bargain agreement is something they should be waiting on. They need to get more done so they can get these ladies more money. Because when Boo run it back next year and I'm there, if I get Michelob Ultra in my eye, bro, it's gonna be a problem. How you doing, babe? I do this for you, girl. You know what I'm saying?
See, give me 30 seconds. Anything you want to talk about, anything basketball related, it does not matter. 30 seconds. Let me make sure I get the clock going. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get you right, just so we know for real.
All right. Say something that's snitching.
All right, you got 30 on the clock. See, talk to us.
I'm just going to mimic what Bro said about putting more into the WNBA, the more coverage, figuring out the schedule so they are not on 2 weeks into this NFL season. I get it. Football season starts the same time, but just more pay these ladies more coverage, more time investing in women so more people are tuned in and they're just as big as the men because they play just as well as the men. They may not dunk like them, but the skill is there, and I want more for us ladies in the future.
Look at that with a second on the clock. I ain't even mad at you, bro. I like it. Look, my 30, can't say nothing to it. It's the best part about it. You can't even respond to it. I know we're just going to love this one. I'm going to say, and I'm going to keep it moving. Philly's going to get knocked out in the second round. And the Lakers are going to be top 5 in the West. Whoo! I felt that. I felt good. I didn't get it off my chest. I've been holding that for a little bit. I feel like I just needed to say it. This is the best part of this segment. You can't really love it. Love it. And we ain't done making moves. I got about another 12 seconds. So look, I think at the end of the day, when we get to the beginning of the season, LB gonna do his thing. I pray to God AD stays healthy. Russ will be gone in the next 2 weeks. Mark my words. Russ will be gone in the next 2 weeks. All right. All right. And shout out to Philly. Hey, James, I pray you do something this year, bro, because you got the squad, you got the talent. Now you got to make it happen. Because if you don't, it's just another blot on your resume, my boy. It is what it is. Look, appreciate y'all tapping in with the full 94 here on MTMV Sports. The best part of this segment is he can't even respond. That's the best part I love about it. He gonna tell me about it when we get off camera, though. Look, 494 MTMV Sports, Sports Talk with C. Will just
and they shouldn't have been singing.
What'd you say?
Millie Vanilli also won a Grammy and it shouldn't be singing. I'm just gonna let y'all do that.
Man, appreciate y'all tapping in, man. Look in here. Let's check this last comment before we get out of here, man. For real. I love it. Oh shoot, I love it. V, appreciate. We trying to get like you. We're just trying to get back. We're trying to get like
V. I need you to get that done.
Take that
shot. We leave, Miss Asia Wilson. It's the end of the season. You probably finna be out here eating cheeseburgers and chilling.
She said if you ain't got 4 shots, then you can't come.
Listen. I'm a big boy. I can get 10 shots in, and I can still be there.
So let's go to Vegas.
It's Tuesday at 5:30, or it's tomorrow at 5:30.
I'm willing to risk it all because I'm trying to get a belly rub. I'm trying to be chilling with the dogs.
I ain't messing with you, man.
Pork and beans because I feel like she from South Carolina. I feel like that's what she eat. I eat your nasty food, Asia. You know what I'm saying? in the room. Like,
hey, look, man.
We need to get this done because I'm tired of being out here. You know what I'm saying? They don't even respect my luxurious skin. You know what I'm saying? Little PYT going today, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't messing with you, bro.
Try to ask me, did I want some Tapico at the Publix? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
It's gross juice. It's gross
I
juice.
know what. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I ain't never got that.
You know what I'm saying?
That orange juice.
Yeah, I'm 38. You know what I'm saying? My credit score is coming up in the 700s. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Experian with the love. You know, I'm out. I'm saying I'm gonna be hosting the Tonight Show for the next few years, Asia. So if you don't jump on now, I'm going after your coach. All right.
All right? And on that note,
shout out to the squad, man. Look, and before we end, man, I want to pay a good mad respect. Heaven got a great angel tonight, man. I lost my uncle Kevin Miles. Shout out to you. Rest in peace. Was battling liver cancer for a while. Snuck up on us. We figured it out. Found out in February. 7 months later, he was gone. And when I tell you this, when you're talking about what you're doing in your life, make sure that you do it right. Be consistent. The word said the timing is the Father's business. And if you stay consistent, don't get weary in well doing. Soon you'll reap a harvest if you don't quit. That is the word. Keep going. Keep pushing. I tell you this, I prayed today as I was worshiping, and I told my Uncle Kevin, I said, I love you. I knew he was battling. I didn't know what it was like. He responded to me, and that's when I knew he was in between. He was either already on the other side or he was fighting and he was on both. So that's how I knew I broke down. But however, he was an amazing man, had an amazing life, and left his legacy on a lot of people. He will be loved, missed, and remembered. So shout out to you, Uncle Kevin Miles. Love you, brother. Rest in peace to you, man. And can't wait to be with the family this weekend, not for the occasion, but to be around family and loved ones, man. So shout out to y'all, man. Full 94 here on MTMV Sports, man. Keep it going. Be consistent. You got it. Be easy.